Hi, Jason. I see you
Hey,
have Calvin with you today. Can you tell us a little bit about that beautiful bird?
sure thing. Calvin is a blue-fronted Amazon. He is, I think, 29 years old now, but you wouldn't be able to tell. He's fresh-faced and also has a lot of energy. My partner and I, we started fostering him, I guess, well, about a year and a half ago, and he tends to prefer her. She's traveling, otherwise she would be doing this interview. He tends to prefer spending time with her, but he also seems to listen to me a little bit more. So he loves a good head scritch from me. He'll step up, step down. If you can see from the perch here, we haven't worked to train him on stepping up on the hand. But he is definitely like many birds, from what I understand, willing to do just about anything for a little treat. So we're gonna give him a banana for being a good sport here. So yeah, that's Calvin. I'm trying to think what else to share about him.
Let me jump in here with a couple sentences. You said that he's about 29, so give us a sense of his life expectancy.
Yeah, I mean, my understanding is Amazons can live typically 40 to 60 years, but sometimes longer in captivity. So I've heard numbers as high as higher 60 plus. And so,
Mhm.
in his case, being he's our first parrot that we fostered or worked with. And it's still mind blowing to me to spend time with a being who is, almost in his 30s. And,
Mhm.
I'm used to working with cats, dogs, and other animals. And sometimes when friends come over and they meet him, I'm like, yeah, this bird is older than your kids who are in college. So,
Yeah, and that is unfortunately a lot of the reason why Mickaboo gets foster birds or birds because our life events, be it marriage, be it divorce, being, expanding the family, or somebody goes off to college, or, having to just move because of job changes, create events that involve the possibility of leaving behind the bird out of those plans.
yep.
I'm so very happy that Calvin has found a good home with you for this past year and a half or so. Speaking of birds and people, has Calvin been around any younger ones so we would know how he interacts with them?
It's a good question. I mean, we took him in when he was around 27, and I'm not sure prior to that what his exposure to younger primates, younger adults, younger humans was. With us, we don't have kids, so just my wife and I, and we don't have a lot of friends that bring their kids over, so haven't really had any interaction to speak of.
Okay,
When
let's
when
talk
he
about
meets
adults. Yeah,
Yeah, I
let's
was gonna
talk
say when he
about
meets
adults.
strangers, he's very curious and interested, and he tends to sort of if he's hanging out inside of his cage, he'll come out on the bars. We have the cage door open. We have a perch he can hang out. He comes and wants to see what's going on, wants to meet people, give them an eye, and kind of see who they are. So, and sometimes he'll make a flock noise, make you know not singing per se, but you can tell he's interested because he's making noise and wants to see who they are. So
Mhm.
yeah.
Cool. Okay, and I see he's done with his banana.
Yeah.
What does he normally eat?
So we have Calvin on a diet of Supreme fruit pellets as well as Harrison's. Always keeping that out offered. He loves the little fruit bits. And then what we do is we make him fresh chop every day, and we try to alternate between vegetables and fruits and sort of find out what he likes. He at times is if it's a new fruit or vegetable, he will avoid it. And when we first took him in, some of the paperwork had said he has a slight fear of suspicious foods. And so
Mhm.
I can relate. But so sometimes it takes him a little while to get used to something, but then when he gets brave and tries it and finds he likes it, we're good to go. But so yeah, so we're doing some fresh chop in the morning, and he has pellets available as he goes. Yeah.
And besides bananas, what else does he favor?
Well, he loves apples. He loves the seeds from bell peppers. He likes bell peppers in general. But the thing he will stop, drop, and roll for are the seeds from inside of a bell pepper. And so we often will save those for him. He really loves
Mhm.
those. Oranges, bananas. a lot of what is it, a sweet potato? He loves sweet potato.
Ooh, mhm,
Not a fan of broccoli, not a huge fan of kale or any kind of like green leafy vegetables, but we do offer it to him, and I have seen him eat some. What is it? It's the little baby lettuces. He'll sometimes chew on that. So
And speaking of food, I see that we are in a kitchen area, and of course, in our class, we advocate for birds staying away from the kitchen, particularly when one is cooking. So, just to be clear, there's no active cooking underway at the moment, and
that's
we
right.
have positioned Calvin in here because it's a great photo drop for the recording that we're doing here, not that this is Calvin's normal habitat.
Nope, he's on camera, and so that's why he's here.
Okay, and speaking of normal habitat, can you describe his cage to us?
Yeah, I mean the cage is I want to say 4 by 3 by 4. I don't remember the exact specifications. It's got a number of perches in there for him to move around in. He has a bell that's on what I believe is called a boing. It's this piece of like rope, and there's a bell on it. And when he wants your attention, sometimes he'll tug on that and kind of make it. And whenever that bell is going, he's delighted. He loves that noise. But we typically have the cage door open, and we'll have him come out on the perch and be able to kind of move around as he likes. Calvin does not fly, and I don't think he's ever learned to fly. So he tends to feel most comfortable sticking around his cage, on top of his cage. But what we do is we've made this perch for him that we'll bring into the living room when we're watching TV or spending time with him so he doesn't feel left out. We used to wheel the cage in and out, and it has wheels. It moves perfectly, but at some point it just became easier to bring him out on the perch. And it also gives us a chance to kind of work with him, teaching him to step up and step down.
Okay, and we called out the three dimensions of the cage, but there's one more dimension that's always very important for cages, and that is bar spacing.
Bar spacing.
So, what is his bar spacing?
You're gonna have to remind me, Pam. I can't quite remember. An inch and a quarter, maybe?
That's what you gave to me. Yeah,
That's
what's
great. Yeah, I did measure it, so that's correct.
yeah, and that would be on the wider side of what we recommend for a bird like him. So when he's not eating and not entertaining guests, what does he normally do during the day?
Yeah, I mean, occasionally in the morning he'll make some flock calls. The calls kind of letting people know he's here and things are happening. When we come out from the bedroom in the morning, he's there to greet us. He's very happy and will come out and say hello.
Mhm.
Often, almost always wants some head scritches, which is great. And then at night, he'll also kind of make some, or when sun is going down, he'll make some flock calls. Generally speaking, we spend a lot of time in this area. Our house is not that big, and so we're able to see him. He's able to see us. We have him near some windows, so he has plenty of light and plenty of interaction where he can see and hear things that are going on outside.
Mhm.
The neighborhood birds and
Mhm.
so he gets a lot of stimulation that way, but he does have toys he likes to play with. He's a big fan of tearing the heck out of toilet paper tubes or those little cardboard rolls, and so we'll sometimes put some treats inside. But even if there's no treats, he loves to go at those things. So
And speaking of ambient stuff happening around him, has he been around other birds, other dogs, other cats, and how has he been with other animals?
yeah, so we have 2 cats and a dog, and actually, there's been no issues whatsoever. Our dog and the 2 cats ignore him. He tends to ignore them. He doesn't run away from them. So, for example, if we have him on the perch with us in the couch by the TV, a cat will walk by. He doesn't seem to mind. They don't bother him. Now, I think that's obviously because the dog and the 2 cats sort of just ignore him and don't seem to be concerned with him at all, and it kind of goes both ways. So yeah, that's how it goes, and yeah, it's been great. I mean, everyone seems to get along in a happy house.
Okay. What protective measures have you put in place to make sure that the house continues to be happy?
Well, I mean, speaking about you mean about the cats and the dog,
It's
or
dogs and the bird, yeah.
yeah, we would never let them in the room by themselves, unsupervised. If we leave, we shut the door, make sure Calvin is secure. And so it's never, even though things have been great, we're always making sure that no one has a chance to get up to any mischief.
That is really good. Okay. Remind me, how did Calvin come to Mickaboo? What caused somebody to give him up?
So, My understanding is Calvin's original. Woo!
Oh, and he's off. There
My
we
understanding
go.
is Calvin's. Sorry, I bumped his table and he got a little spooked. You're all right, bud. My understanding is Calvin's original owner, like you mentioned in the beginning, had had a change in circumstances and actually passed. And then Calvin went to that person's sister-in-law, and he was there for a while, maybe 4 or 5 years before she had a change in circumstances with a couple new dogs that were giving him issues and
Mhm.
causing stress, and it was not a doable situation. And so my wife and I had just started doing some volunteering with Mickaboo, and we had some space and we had some time, and we wanted to be able to learn a lot more about, what it's like to foster a parrot. And so here we are.
Okay. Well, we have just about run out of time today. So, in our closing minute or two, what else would you like to say to someone who's considering having Calvin as part of their household?
As a first-time parent, it's just been a delight to have him as part of our household. He is not what I think of as an especially loud bird. He does like to make noise when he's playing with his bell, but in general, it's just and speaking as the one in the partnership who he doesn't prefer, we have a great time. I mean, he loves head scritches. I greet him in the morning, and he hasn't ever said anything to us, even though we understand maybe he had some, words in his past and vocabulary, but he's just great. He's a delight to spend time with. He has just a bravery and a curiosity about the world that I think anyone would really love to be a part of.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for spending some time with us
You bet.
and hope for the best for you and Calvin. Thank you.
Say bye, Calvin.